you haven't really went through, the thought process of I'm going to do two parallel strategies here, one organic and the other one is M&A kind of thing, merge with another company. Sort of like you strike me as I want to be independent. I want to run my own show, leave me alone kind of guy. That's what the entrepreneurial spirit is. You definitely don't want a private equity firm poking
Yeah,
around in your in your business. You don't want
yeah,
that.
yeah,
What's your
yeah.
thoughts on the other side of growth? You got the organic growth, but what about
Sure.
the other side of the growth?
Yeah, I've had in a prior company. So in two different worlds, when I was in San Francisco, I worked for a bunch of VC funded tech companies as an employee. And
Oh,
in
San
some cases,
Francisco is full of them.
yeah, yeah. So in some case, I was like on the executive team, so I had some more insight into what goes on there. And I think people don't quite realize how quickly you lose control of your company as soon as you take capital. And even if you say you only sell 10 to 20%, there's all sorts of clauses, where they can remove you as founder, put all sorts of pressure. And because they've given you money, you feel obliged to say yes and appease them, quite a bit. So if they make a recommendation or a suggestion, you're often appeasing them, and I don't think people quite recognize that. And then the same thing happened to me. The first nearshore company that I had, I raised about $2 million from an investor, and I recognized that it wasn't my own company. It was shared, and the investors have a right because they're giving capital. Um, but you no longer have full autonomy. Like even though you're a founder, you've got a boss, right? And since then, I've only put my own money into companies because I want full autonomy at all times. And there's pluses and minuses. Maybe growth is a little slower because I'm using my own capital, or I've got to work with different financing methods, lines of credit, loans, if I need to, versus investor capital. But I'm also in control over the timeline, the exit, and it allows me to say no when things don't feel right. Like I've said no to different clients and decided not to work with them because this is my time and my capital. Where I think if I had an investor driving that, I probably would have felt pressure to hit the numbers and hurdles that investor is expecting. So it allows you to take a longer, more macro view, and I think I'll do that until I have no other choice.